Hello. Can you guys hear me? I'm going to see if I can hear myself here. I'm going to see if I can hear myself. Okay. I don't know why, but when I moved the mic just now, I unplugged it. It's always something, right? Welcome to my month of streams because it's my birthday at the end of the month. My stream birthday, not my birthday. Mine's in May. So welcome if you're new here, and if you want to chat with us and you're on YouTube, make sure you create a channel, and that's kind of like an account. And then it'll allow you to chat with us and stream. And I'm streaming live on both Twitch and YouTube, so you'll hear me responding to different people that you might not see the comments of. My name is Sarami, and this is So Live. Hello, Cheyenne. How's it going? Welcome. I know I don't usually stream on a Tuesday. Hello, Lexi. Hi, Eliza. Hi, Brooke. Hi, Cass. Oh, it's so great you guys are all here. Thank you. I know, I can't believe in the same month it's my 100th stream and my birthday, my like 1 year anniversary at the end of the month. So I've got this really ambitious schedule this month of streaming Tuesday through Saturday for the rest of the month mostly. I don't know why, I'm really nervous about it. Not about the streams, like that's actually the really easy and fun part of what I do. It's just like, how am I gonna get everything else done that I would normally be doing when I'm not streaming? Hello, Olivia. Yeah, this blouse it's pretty cool. And I just updated my Instagram post with the correct hashtag because I wasn't sure what it was. And I could tell like when I put hashtag butterfly blouse that there was like 1,000+ posts, and I was like, okay, that's probably not the right one. So I did find it. It's 1930s butterfly blouse. So hello, Barbara. Hi, World Peas. Did I say hi to you, Olivia? Hi, Malen. Hello, Elaine. By the way, thank you so much for those of you who have signed up to be patrons on Patreon. That was really exciting. What a fun weekend. I had such a weird weekend between those little bits of good news and then our pug being at the emergency vet again because, you know, he's a pug. So hello, Winter Stitches. I see you on Twitch. There's a couple of you on Twitch. That's awesome. I love Twitch. You know, you guys know. I turned on the air, but now I'm warm and it's not coming on, and that's kind of a bummer. So, okay, so I want to see, can you see my microphone? You can't really, there it is, okay. Like at the last second, as always, I was like, oh, I don't have my, well, there's the air. I don't have my microphone right here. Okay, so usually, if you're new here, what I do is I usually cut something out on, lately it's been like Wednesday, and then we sew it on Tuesday and Saturday. But this week and next week and the next week, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that, I am going to be cutting and sewing a couple of things and maybe even adding like a pattern drafting stream or a how-to stream. We even have 1 week of knits. So I have a schedule up, and it's, I need to figure out how to show you guys that schedule because I showed you guys last stream on Saturday. What did we do on Saturday? We finished the, the uniform tunic dress. Okay, so there's a schedule there, and I showed you guys because I was able to post it on Patreon, because it's like I can't really post like a document like that just anywhere. So it's so weird. Like the internet lets you do everything and nothing sometimes, you know. So you have vacation, Cheyenne? That's awesome. Eliza, well, I'm trying to figure out Patreon and like how to do it. Hi, Allison from Hearts is here. Yay. I'm figuring it out. So it's like I'm getting to that point where I really do have to like figure out how I'm going to monetize this, and I may add ads, but I don't think they're going to give much. So just trying to figure it out. There's no pressure. You do not need to sign up. It helps the stream, and I really want to keep doing this because this is what I'm doing now. So I'm going to have some home sewing patterns. They won't bring in much, but it'll help. So once those are off my plate, I can really dedicate more time to this. So Eliza, I am So Live on Patreon, and it's kind of like a subscription. And eventually, when I have a little less on my plate with the patterns, I'll be able to add some like perks to some of the subscriber tiers. maybe like free downloadable patterns occasionally, or free one-on-one, like not free obviously, like because you've already been paying for it. I don't want to discount what you're already investing, but you know, more like customized things or things that are like special perks to some of the tiers. So I'm figuring it out, and I put a plea out to you guys on Saturday to please let me know how you feel about it, what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see. And I haven't gotten any emails about it, but I have gotten a couple of really, really nice emails from viewers. And I haven't replied to all of them because, like I said, I had kind of a crazy weekend with our dog. He's totally fine, by the way. Yeah. Hi, Ray. Ray, I loved your email. I can't wait to reply to it. So, yeah. So it's just, you know, one thing after another. School starts next week. Yay. It's really not a big deal for me. I have a teenager. They're pretty self-sufficient. So anyway, Hearts Fabric is sponsoring the Decades of Style project that we're doing here. And they're also going to be contributing to our giveaway this month. Okay, you guys, the giveaway thing is so much harder than I realized. Like at Chicken Boots, I could just be like, here, giveaway, here you go, I'll send it to you. It's a little more complicated being like on YouTube and doing it. I have to limit it to U.S. residents, which is such a freaking bummer because so many of you here are from outside the country, and I really want to give back to you. And it's not going to be like a big deal of a giveaway. I just really want to be able to share some things. This week, I'm going to give away one of my Needlesharp subscription boxes because I inadvertently somehow got the wrong one. And it's fine because I'm happy to share it, and I'll show it to you guys later, and I'll show you how to enter. So yeah, it's gonna be hot, Barbara, right? I know. Yeah. You're in Fresno? Yeah, and I'm in Chico. You know, when we got back from the coast, it was like 85, and it felt so good. Like, good meaning like not as hot. But I feel like it ramped up, and yesterday it was cloud. I don't know. Yeah, right? I know. You know, it's okay, Ray. I'm gonna respond. I loved hearing your story. And I'm so glad you found us because it's such a great group of people, and they're all trying to figure it out. Hi, Terry. They're all trying to sew together, and a lot of us don't have sewing peeps near us or in real life to hang out with. So this is our spot, right? So, sorry, I still have my little bit of cough. I actually went to the little like teledoctor again yesterday, got a refill. I'm like, can I just have that cough thingy you gave me? I just want that. I didn't take the steroid you gave me. I just want this. They're like, oh, you probably should do that. Okay, so this blouse, all right, so I know some of you were like, this isn't probably my silhouette. I really encourage you guys to look at the hashtag. There aren't very many sewn under that hashtag, but they're all really amazing. It's 1930s butterfly blouse. And you can even look at the Decades of Style hashtag. It is so beautiful on. It looks so comfortable and drapey and feminine, and it's just gorgeous, and it's in print and solids on a few people. Totally recommend it. It's hot in Virginia too, Elaine. Dang. Yeah, like we had the craziest spring, and now it's supposed to be hot right now, you know? It's supposed to be hot. That's the way I look at it. I don't stress about it. For me, it just means I can wear more dresses, and I really like wearing dresses. So all winter long, I'm like, I wish it was dress season, and I know you can wear dresses in the winter, but it's just not the same. So the interesting thing about this is how it's constructed. You finish your edge. You finish your edge here, and then you lay it on top and top stitch it down. Ah, thanks, Brooke. Thank you. That's awesome. Yeah, so there's a link to Hearts Fabric who sponsored us for this part of our weekly sew. I was actually kind of excited to sew it this way, but my serger's not back, and I'm not going to zigzag this fabric. I feel like it would not do it justice. It's very drapey, beautiful print with like these geese on it, and I want to call them waves, but they're more like probably like clouds or gusts of air. Let's see if I can show you close up. It's pretty special, you know. So I'm going to add a little seam allowance, and I'm going to do French seams like I always do. But I think that this will be, it's going to add a layer of, you know, like I think it's going to be totally fine. Like when I look at the pattern, I'm like, yeah, this should be fine. If you top stitch it down or if you sew it right sides together, you should be getting the exact same effect. It's the same seam allowance, same seam line. So, you know, there's that. And for those of you who want your seams to be really finished, this will be a nice alternative. It is going to add a little bit to the sewing time, but I think we got this. They might be cranes, Brooke. Their legs aren't very long, though. There's a good one. You see that? See, these are the legs. They could be cranes. Yeah, French seams. We're in the French seam club. All right, let's see here. So I'm cutting 2 garments out today, cutting this one, and then I'm also making a Dahlia dress by Colette Patterns. I am such a big fan of Colette Patterns. I'm starting to really wish they kept printing them. I really want to support what their like direction is and what they're doing and everything, and I 100% do. But at the same time, I really wish they would keep printing their patterns, mainly because like when I'm picking something to teach at a class, it kind of needs to be a pattern being sold in the fabric store. And I 100% stand behind a few of the like indie pattern companies, and some of the others I've never heard of there. And so I'm like, ooh, do I really want to buy that pattern, try it out, and then be like, not so much, you know? So it's a tough one, but I know you can find it, and I'll bet this one is even 50% off at a few stores. Maybe even Hearts might have a copy of this still, and a lot of the fabric stores are putting their print patterns for Colette on sale. So the Dahlia dress, let's see. I've worn the Dahlia dress here. You guys all kept asking me about it, and this is what the pattern cover looks like, but I was wearing this one here, and that's the one I'm going to make. I feel like this is yet another pattern cover that doesn't really show the potential for the garment and really how great it is. But I'm going to add the skirt of the Hawthorne, and you've seen me wear the Hawthorne the other day. It was a deep green with the big peach orange flowers on it. That's the Hawthorne dress. Another one, this just doesn't do it justice, and I made a short sleeve version of it. So I'm going to do this A-line skirt, not the buttons, just the A-line part of the skirt on my Dahlia dress. I have probably 3 or 4 of this Dahlia, and I think that that kind of A-line skirt is going to be great on it. And I picked out some fabric. You guys are going to laugh at me. It's right here. Let me see my fabric here. Does that look familiar? So I know I did the pink version for the Callie shirt dress, and that shirt dress is still in process. And I just don't feel like I got the satisfaction I wanted from using a fabric. I mean, that was the great thing about chicken boots. It's like, oh, I love that fabric. Let's sew it in 5,000 things, and then I won't have to have something out of it. Great logic, right? Yeah, right, Melanie? Exactly. And so, the pink was kind of far-fetched for me, but I do love how that turned out, and I'm going to modify that shirt soon. Is it this Saturday that I have it on the I have a refashion Saturday, so I'm going to refashion that a little bit more. It's not a dress anymore, by the way, and I made it a shirt, and I need to like alter it again. So I'm going to do the blue version. I've always liked the blue version. I'm going to do that in my Dahlia dress. So, all right, I'm going to keep things moving because I may be streaming 5 days this week, but I can't do 3 or 4 hour streams every day. And cutting 2 garments out, especially one that needs some modifications, might take me a little bit. So, all right, so this is a one-way print. Those are the things that go in my head when I'm cutting something out. Is it one way? And is it one way? How wide is it? Can I get my thing? Do I need to put something on the fold? Those are the first things I'm kind of thinking about. This is a really unique pattern. And so because it's not going to fit, see this? It's not going to fit on the fabric. I don't know if you can see my whole width here. There we go. It's a little better. A little better. I'm going to have to fold this and make 2 layers, but then that would make 1 layer upside down. So I'm pretty much going to have to cut a layer and then lay the other layer on the other top face, you know, right sides together. I'm trying to get my pattern pieces to relax because this is a tracing and they were a little curly when I left last night. Okay, so I'm just trying to see if my grain line's kind of parallel to that because I'm trying to cut the smallest amount possible. You just never know what awaits you, right? Best to make sure you're gonna have enough. I do have a little bit of concerns about having enough, especially for the tie, because you need 4 of those. Okay, so we're gonna open this up. Ooh, I love this fabric. I was talking with Allison from Hearts this morning via email. Actually, I'm gonna put it towards me like this so you can see it all. And you guys, this is the only drawback about sewing things for Hearts, because there's really no drawbacks. And I keep saying, I don't need 5,000 new garments, right? That's why having this sponsorship is so awesome, because I really don't need so many new garments all the time. At the same time, like I've looked in my closet for both the things we've made for them, and I'm like, I'm gonna wear that dress today. Well, I don't have that. I sent it to them. So that's kind of funny. All right, I think like cutting that off may have been a mistake for my ties. I just realized that. So let's see here. I'm gonna cut this piece right here. Just gonna cut it as small as possible. That's not the fabric off grain there. That's just my bad cutting. You can tell because look at the birds. Here's a bird. That's the same bird. See, that's the straight line. So my cutting was a little crooked there. That's how I tell. So I've added a little of extra the seam allowance for the French seams, and I'm going to show you that if you want to do that. I'm going to, Ray, yeah, I'm going to move this fabric right here so that they are both right side up as far as the print goes, because it's a one-way print. This is a very small table for me. I'm used to really big tables that I can spread out and then move to a clean spot when I've taken up all the usable space. I need to spend a little more time designing my studio here. You know, it's working really good, but now that I've used it for a few months, I have some like things I want to like refine. All right, I put this one on top because of the swoop that I cut out here. I want to be able to see it. Just gonna line this up over here. So this is looks like a rayon. Dang, Hearts, I keep forgetting to ask you, what are the fabric specs, just in case someone wants to call you and place an order. This is awesome. This bird print is so cool. All right, so this is the sleeve pattern, and it's big, okay? It's also the yoke across the front and the back. So let's take a look at it here. Here's the grain line. This is the sleeve hem right here, okay? This is the neckline right here. The center back across, right below the neck, the center back. And this is like, consider this a yoke. And if you wanted to think about the armhole, just to give you some idea, like this, think of the sleeve as something like this. But they've added all of this for the drape. I'll make that line. That's the sleeve right there, right? And so it's like they've made it into a dolman, raglan kind of combo thing. 100% rayon. Nice, thank you. So this is the front armhole. I labeled this so that it would be easier to figure out. This is the center front. You just sold out, but you have more on order. Awesome. Yeah, it's really cool fabric. This is the back armhole and the center back, or the side seam. This is a side seam, sorry. These are side seams right here. Pretty sure. Are those side seams? If those are side seams, I need to add seam allowance to those. So let's look at that real quick. I don't want to steer you guys. I don't want to steer you guys in the wrong direction. No, those aren't side seams. What are those? I think that goes armhole, armhole. Okay, let me look at it. Let me look at it here. Let's see. You do that, and then what is this right here? It goes... Oh, it's the underarm. Yeah, exactly, Cass. I know. Sometimes, like, just so you guys know, like, I'm just going to assume that there are a few people that would look at this pattern and go, I don't know about that. That looks scary. I get the same reaction, you guys. I go, oh, shoot. Okay. I see what Hearts is doing here. They're like, here you go, so make this look easy. Make this like look like, okay, this is great to sew. Like everyone wants to make this. But even I was like, oh shoot, I got to do some thinking here. I don't want to think, but I do. I really do actually, because it's projects like this that really elevate your skills and your sewing and kind of push you past those little tiny barriers we throw up in front of ourselves. And then you do it and you're like, huh, I got this, you know, and it makes you feel good. Yeah, it's the underarm seam. Yeah, so this is the underarm right here, and we do need some seam allowance there. I can always take the seam allowance off later. So what I'm doing is I'm adding 1/4 inch. Oh, I just drew right on the fabric. Oh no, I didn't draw on the fabric. That's his beak. This is so that I can do French seams. There is 3/8 inch seam allowance already included. The only reason that notch is in red, if you can see it, is because I missed it on the original pattern. When I saw it in the instructions, I was like, wait a minute, that's that. Wait a minute. So I figured it out. So yeah, like, you know, you think of this as like the center back. This is the neck coming to the front. And then when the front is sewn to here, the neck will continue down along right here. Okay. And these, like, just because you may be tough to identify this, you don't have to identify these things. And you don't have to identify these things, but it is good to at least identify what it sews to, so that you know that if you have any kind of fit issues or maybe some standard fit adjustments you like to make, you kind of know what direction to head in. You could always pin these pattern pieces together because they come on tissue. I just retraced this onto pattern paper for my use. You can pin the tissue together and put it on you. You know what I mean? So, I know what you mean, Terry. You know what, Terry? You might mess it up, but at the same time, you might fix it too, and it'll be totally fine. My money is on the fact that it's going to be totally fine. We make mistakes on all of our sewing projects. It's going to happen because you don't get to sew 10 of these before you cut it out of your real fabric, but that's the way to get around it. Cut it in some muslin or some cheap fabric. Invest in some really inexpensive fabric. Cut out at least 1/2 of it and try it out. You know what I mean? Yeah, there is always more fabric. Yeah, exactly, Ray. You can do it and you'll learn something, right? Yeah, you can't let that stop you, because think about that beautiful fabric being made into this. It'll be amazing, you know? You know, I make mistakes on every single one of the things we make here together. Every single one of them. And every single one of them I want to improve in some way when I'm done and I've worn it a couple times. It's sometimes why I make something again, or I put it back under the needle and adjust it. It might happen. This one, the hashtags look really good on people though. All right, I'm gonna go turn down my air conditioning because I'm hot. I have it set for 79. I turned it down to 77. Okay, so let's cut. Let's cut. I'm not going to add to the hem allowance. I'm just adding to the areas where I know I'm going to do the French seams. If I don't end up doing it, I can always trim that seam allowance off, you know? So I'm going to go for it. It's right sides together. They're both right side up, right? Yep, yep. Ooh, thank goodness. I was pretty sure my blade was sharp, but I wasn't sure. This table's really good. This mat, I mean, is actually pretty good at fabrics like this. I have had mats that tend to catch these fabrics that have the little tiny fibers, you know. And we're off. I'm not sure why the construction, oh yeah, I lost a little of my seam allowance there, is the way it is. I'm thinking it's because they are sewing it historically accurate. There's not a lot of introduction in what I have, but there could be in the pattern if you buy the full pattern. That's funny, Terry. Yep, I know what you mean. Trying not to get my head in the camera. I can't really tell if it is or not. It's a very awkward angle to cut. There we go. There aren't any small pattern pieces in this, so I know that I can get rid of some of these scraps right off the bat. But I do need some of it for the ties. So hopefully we're gonna be okay with the ties. All right, we have a bunch of notches. I'm pretty sure the notches are at these angles. I don't think it has anything to do with the sewing. I actually recognize when notches are at angles. It's when you use computer software. This is kind of funny. When you use computer software and you say, apply a notch right here to this point, sometimes the notch goes like this, and you can drag it and make it perpendicular to the pattern piece. And I sometimes see it on patterns where it just doesn't, you can't see it when they grade it. Or a lot of times people don't know you can actually drag the notch and straighten it. At least on the software I used, you could. Now this is now 5/8 inch seam allowance, so I'm not really worried about using my rotary knife for the notches. I'm a little like disappointed that I didn't cut that very well. Oh, sorry, I know my wedding ring looks terrible again. Okay. I am 100% going to leave this pinned to my fabric. Because when I'm sitting at my sewing machine, I will definitely get a little turned around. So we will just keep it pinned right on there right now. All right. Next. Okay, so let's see here. We have the front and the back now. That's it. And the tie. Pretty easy peasy. Hoping I get all the tie in there. I may be piecing it because I cut that one piece off at the beginning. I probably should have cut it off in the shape of the sleeve. The grid on the mat's kind of helping me with my keeping my fabric straight. And I did pre-wash this. I just threw it in the washer and dryer like I throw all my things in. All right, so we have a front and we need 2 of these. And then we have a back. So let's see what we have here. I did check it. I did check it, but I'm nervous. So what are you guys up to? Are any of you sewing? Are you working? I mean, it's Tuesday. What are you guys doing here? keep it as relaxed as possible, but definitely flat, straight, on grain. Kind of looking at all those things. I have enough, right? I'm gonna look. You didn't want a tie, right, hearts? Oh, I don't have enough for a back there. Why did this look right when I started? Is it this? Is this what I need? This is what I need, right? Huh? Oh, nice. That's awesome. I do stuff. I multitask too, world peas. Oh, you got your estuary skirt working? You're slightly terrified of ruining? Yeah, I know what you mean. All right, I might be able to get this on this piece here. And then maybe that's what it was. I'm gonna do it on this side here. So one of these fronts, I happen to know, is trimmed. Is that the? I'm gonna look at the birds here. So this is the straight. This is a straight line right here. Now the print is. It doesn't. It's not necessarily that the print is on grain. It just, I can tell at least. For the most part, it's close. You know what I mean? Oh, cool. Hi, Kira. You're testing out a handout? Oh, that's awesome. That's so smart. I did that for the willow tank. I like tested, like, can I actually teach this in one evening? I'm kind of nervous. Okay, so I went to the fabric store and they do have me signed up to teach the tamarack jacket. I didn't even know that. And what do you guys think? Okay, so I definitely got feedback from the people in the class that they didn't like having to cut out the garment before they got there, and I get that. They're nervous about fit issues, or maybe they want to learn how to cut or whatever. Totally fine with that. I'm totally happy to cut with them. But that particular garment is also quilted. So I have 2 4-hour sessions with them. And I'm like, can I do it? You know? Yeah, exactly, Malin. I've told myself that same thing. Sorry, I got something in my eye. Oh, you're making yourself a wristlet wallet. That's awesome, Elaine. I got a new purse from Queen Bee Bags recently, and I'm now carrying around a purse again, and I love it. It has all these rainbow stripes on the front, and I love it. She's another maker. She's in Portland. I know Kira knows her. All right, so see this little piece right here? It's not making it quite on there, but let me show you a little secret. You trim, let's make sure. Let's hope it's the correct front. Right? I know, I was thinking that too, Malin. Let's hope it's the correct one. Which one do I trim? Which one do I trim? It's the other one. Trim left front. Oh, that's the left front. Yes! That is the left front because look, the fabric's face down. Okay, that was lucky. I feel like I just got streamer lube. All right, trim off 4 inches off the inside corner of the left front piece. Okay, cool. I just got really lucky. All right. So I'm looking at my grain line, making sure it's parallel to the selvage here. All right. notes on here. It says tie here, if you couldn't read that. I can barely read it too, and it's upside down. These lines right here denote a section where you're going to put, I think it's 4 rows of gathering stitches between here, because this is the front with the gathered detail right here. This is your armhole, obviously, and this is your front, and the left front probably goes underneath the other front, the right front, and then you cinch it. Hi Lisa, how's it going? Welcome, nice to see you here. I'm barely pulling off cutting this thing here, you know, and cutting it kind of badly too. So I added my 1/4 inch to these edges too, so I have the 5/8 inch seam allowance as well, because I'm going to do French seams. Rather than, the instructions have a really interesting method where you fold one edge under and then lay it on top and top stitch it down. The reason I'm not doing that, there's nothing wrong with that, is because I'm gonna have trouble finishing the edges because I don't have my serger. And I don't want to use zigzag on the rayon. I am cutting this really badly, sorry guys. Not only did I trace it kind of meh, because I had to run to the vet to get my dog, I'm cutting it kind of mess, so maybe I'll balance it out. Okay, here is a notch, notch, notch. And then we're going to trim 4 inches off the left front. Like, I only missed that much. See that? It wasn't bad. Didn't end up being bad. All right, so 4 inches. They don't seem to hold this very precious in the pattern instructions. And I think it's good, like sometimes when you're like, oh my gosh, they're telling me to kind of cut blindly here. When they don't elaborate and go into detail, don't stress about it, just do it. Because obviously if it was really, really important as far as like how to do it, where to do it, how much, they would go into more detail and provide you maybe a template. But you know, we're just gonna look at this. Trim 4 inches off inside corner of left front piece as shown. This corner will be inside the blouse and will not be visible. The cutting line does not have to be exact. Okay. 4 inches seems like a much wider amount than right there. That's why I just went and looked at it. I'm just gonna go like this. It's done now. we gotta deal with what we did now. All right, so kind of want to leave these fairly lined up. All right. Like that. I'm just gonna clip it like this. I pinned the other one because I kind of want to get my bearings on it before I start sewing. All right, so we'll put that in my little bin. We have the back now. I have this feeling that Lexi and Allison, like, they're probably working while they watch, but they're also like, oh God, I hope we sent her enough fabric. I'm sure you guys sent me enough fabric. But I'm not gonna just hack this piece off right here because I might need it. Or you know, we'll just wait to do the tie. I don't know. Look at this huge piece. Let's see. I need 4 ties, and they are kind of long. See that? So let's kind of start looking at 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then maybe, ooh, I don't know. I actually don't know. Let's see here. This is all I have. I only have tiny pieces in the trash. I don't think I have enough. Let's see here. We can always sew this together and do the tie later. Or do a different tie. Because I need this piece on the fold. Oops, sorry, I just whacked the microphone. So if I do this. Yeah, you're putting all your fabric. Oh, by the way, Allison, I meant to tell you guys that your website is looking really good. I love that when you hover over something, it immediately says if it's sold out or not. I really like that. And I couldn't get my PayPal to work, but I don't know if that was actually your website, actually. I think it might have been me. But I thought it worked really, really good. I really liked it. Nice, Barbara. What are you taking? What class are you taking? Ray, you know, here's the deal. I don't think so. They are stated to be, they need to be on the length of grain, but I would totally change it. But the problem is I can get 3 on the grain and I might be missing 1 on the grain. Like, so like I can't make like 3 of them on the grain and 1 not, because the print will be a different direction. Because why is this, why do I need 4? Because they're all angled. Oh, maybe, wait a minute, let's look. Let's look. Let's look. See, so it goes twice around the waist, and that is kind of a very charming feature. Oh, the angle. Let's see, let's see. Oh, okay. So 2 of them are the left and 2 of them are the right. I don't think it would go twice around me. Oh, but maybe you start here like this and then go, yeah. What am I missing? Let's look here. Plus I need fabric for bias binding. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm gonna get the ties. Let's see, turn and derage of seam allowance. Okay, make ties. Stitch ties right sides together, leaving short square end open. Clip corners. Turn and press. Short square end. Short square end. Oh, the short end. Okay. Huh. I'm puzzled. All right, well, let's cut our back. Let's sew it anyway, just as is, and then we're gonna think about the ties. I'm gonna think about it. What if it had contrast ties? Like black would be nice. So could I get, what if I could get 2 backs with a seam down the back? What if I could do that? I don't think Hearts would mind that. Let's see. If we can get, let's see. We can get 1 here. And then 1 underneath. We still can't get, I don't think we can get 4 ties. See, I think I can get 4 ties going this way. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. 1. I can't get it across here. Dang it. Can I really not get the back under there? Let's see. All right, I need to turn the fabric. Let's see. This is driving me nuts. My table's so tiny. I'm into, like, my idea of luxury is table space. Am I right? And I have a big 4x8 table that I usually work on. Let's see. All right, all right. I'm kind of determined right now to get it on there. That's why I'm fussing so much. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I can probably get those there, but I can't get the back here. Yeah, I really don't have much fabric in here. All right, hearts. What am I missing? I have this little piece here. Okay, yeah, you might, Lexi. Yeah, right, Ray. I do love seams down the center back too, so you can adjust the like small of your back. But this has a tie and it's rayon, so it should be really drapey. I don't think you have to worry about that. Yeah, maybe, Lexi. Whatever you guys want. Because I need some for the bias as well. I can get the back right here. You know, Lexi, maybe what we could do, can I get the back out of this and then it would be kind of interesting if I could do the tie one side solid and one side print. You think I can do it? I don't think I can do it for once. I might be able to, we might be able to do that, Alexi. I might be able to piece together this upper section up here into 2 outer ties, and then maybe the under side would be the solid. There is a suggested layout. I never look at suggested layouts, Kara, ever. Is that terrible to say? But I don't. Yeah, I might have been able to squeak it in there. This is a tight layout. And I actually really appreciate that. You know? Okay, cool. Thanks, Lexi. Yeah, so I'll wait to do the ties. This is fold on crosswise grain of fabric. So the thing is, what is making this really challenging is the one-way print. So I'm not sure. See, okay, here's the other thing. I don't actually have the pattern envelope. I don't have the yardage requirement, so I'm not sure. Yeah, right. You look at them and ignore them completely. I never look at them. You know, it's so terrible, but I never trust them. Isn't that terrible? I've never trusted one. I feel like I have some experiences, you know, I can rely on. All right, so I'm going to cut this back out. And maybe I will, I'm trying to leave myself some bias binding. But I could, you know, can you throw in enough for some bias binding, Lexi? Because maybe I'll do the bias binding in the navy blue as well. I'm sorry. But that would look nice probably. Okay. The upshot of tracing your pattern pieces in black Sharpie is you can see them when they're upside down. Okay. Like I kind of want to cut bias to this side, but I'm also like coveting these little pieces here just in case that I could use those for bias as well. So maybe I will sew I can sew the Dahlia tomorrow and then the butterfly blouse on Saturday. Right, Kira? I know. Oh, totally. Yeah, I actually did do a mock layout before I started. So I actually do lay it out before. I don't just do it blind completely. I mean, unless I know exactly like the thing I've cut and sewn before. But I don't know what, I think it's just this one-way print, maybe. I don't know. I think it's gonna be fantastic though. So right now I'm just kind of making sure my fold is straight. It's kind of hard to do with rayons sometimes. Especially when it's kind of far away from you. Like, you know, when we cut things, we usually are like this, and I'm like over here trying to cut it. 2 yards. I think this piece is like a little over a yard. I don't think 2 yards. I think 2 yards is too much. Like 1.5 yards, maybe. It's 53 inches, if that helps. And it's 4 inches wide. So, so 16 inches by 53 is what I need to make the ties. If I end up having to use all the navy. I need another, wait, what am I doing? Doing it on my red line here because I want that extra seam allowance. I'm so glad you guys were in the stream. Thank you. Yeah, happy accidents, exactly. Okay. Okay, so this is my, so look at, see how big this piece is up here? Why can't I get that to work? It's gonna bug me. It's gonna bug me. All right, so here I'm not gonna notch both of these because I think it's just the left side only that you leave open for your tie to slip through. It's the left side as you're wearing it. So it's gonna be this one right here. Always when a pattern company speaks of what side, when they say left or right, it's as if you're wearing it. Thanks, Allison. Yeah. Okay, I got that. I'm gonna do my double notch up here. See, now you can kind of see, now that this is open, the armhole, and it's just got a curved section here. This is like a yoke for the sleeve piece to go there, and that little center seam is right here, and then it comes down whoop, like that. Just a combination yoke and sleeve. These back notches, probably don't even need both. It's just probably a, just so you know you're on the back side. I don't even really need to tape this one. Tape this one. I'm pretty sure this piece is the least confusing of all of them for me. So I'll just throw it in my bin. All right, let's look at this. I'm still determined. I'm like looking on the floor, you know. I'm just making sure like a piece of the rayon didn't slither off my table. But I don't see anything anywhere. At least this table's not slippery either. All right, let's see here. We all have it happen, right? See, look at that. It's so close. But if I piece it together, here's the deal. I've done this before, where I've pieced together my tie. And what happens is when you go to tie it, there's like a little bump. You guys know what I mean, right? I mean, that's just how it will feel. So I'm kind of hesitant to do that. I can't get this. Let's see, how about right here? All right. Yeah, it's just not gonna happen. Oh well. It's just not gonna happen. But you know what? I think I could do the bias. They don't. I don't know if it says how much. It says it's 2 inches wide though, which I was like, wow. I don't think I've sewn 2 inch wide bias. Cut bias strips 2 inches wide from leftover fabric, but it doesn't say how much. I think all you're doing is the neckline and part of the front, not the whole hem. It says because you use a rolled hem. Oh wait a minute. Lift over fast. Sew strips together. It makes your falling have to go around entire neck and lower edge of blouse. Oh wow. Okay. That's a lot. Ooh, there's some binding in this. I am down. You know me. Put the tie in there so I don't lose it. Rayon is slithery. Yes. Yeah, let's see. I think I will. What do you guys think? I could wait and use the navy as a solid because it's going to be all along the neck and all along the hem underneath. Or should I do the self? I can cut it now. And then I'll just flip-flop the sewing so that we'll do the sewing of this at the end of the week and the Dahlia tomorrow, which is totally fine. Oh, right, Malin? I know. Sometimes I buy like 3 yards, carte blanche. I just do 3 yards every time. And, you know, that is just too much for some projects. So, what do you think? Navy binding hems or the print? I almost want to cut pockets out of it, but there's no room for pockets. It's like pockets on everything. This is so cute. Look at that. You see that? There's no stitch line where the bias is. That makes me like go, how do you think self bias? Okay. Oh, okay. I just have hemorrhage is aging out. So they sew this, you like contrast binding. So Olivia, there's 1 vote for contrast, 1 vote for print. I know, me too, Olivia. On this, I mean, I don't think it'll matter too much. It'll look nice on the hanger. I'll just wait. Since we're not sewing this right away, I'll just wait. How's that? The way they sew the binding on this is another, I didn't show this way to sew binding in my video, and I should have. It's just my oversight that I didn't show this because I have that how to sew binding video. And it's the way where you fold the binding in half, press it, and then you sew the raw edge to raw edge, like of the garment. So you sew it as a strip, and then you turn it and top stitch down the fold, you know. Thanks, Lexi. Perfect. Yeah, I get your packages so quickly. All right, so there we go. All right, let's move on. All right, so next. So this is the little drawing I did of the, so we're doing the Dahlia dress. Do you guys have this pattern, hearts? The Dahlia dress, sleeveless with a Hawthorne skirt. I don't know yet if the skirt's just gonna magically fit. I doubt it. And here's my little sketch. I did this really quick right before I ran to the vet. So she's got 1 boob. It happens, you know. And got all my pattern pieces here. All right. I'm cutting this on the cross grain, so that should be interesting. It is pre-washed at least. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take the Hawthorne skirt and I'm going to compare it to the other one. Oh my gosh, you guys just got spammed with Streamlabs notifications. Sorry. Why are those at the same time? They shouldn't be at the same time. They're supposed to be like a half hour apart. I just don't get it. Like sometimes we get no Streamlabs notifications, sometimes we do. Sorry guys, I can sew really good. I don't know about the like computer junk. All right, so the Dahlia has a, they're calling it a yoke. It's a midriff. So here's the back, here is the front. Now what I can do is I can compare my skirts, or I can just compare the midriff to the waist seams, which is more accurate. So I think that's what I'll do. Here's my skirt for the original Dahlia, and here's my midriff. This one has a button overlap. So we will fold it where we think it needs to go. This is the back, this is the front. So let's see, I'm just gonna walk it. Size 12, this is a size 10 cut out in the Hawthorne. I actually looked back at my notes and I saw, you don't have this one? You do have a few other Colettes left? Yeah, that's what I thought. I know that there's just not very many left in the world, unfortunately. Such a bummer, you know? I totally understand, but at the same time, like, I really like these. So I looked back and I saw on my pattern, I think on my pattern envelope, that I started with the 10 in the Hawthorne and then I went up a size to the size 12 when I ended up cutting and sewing mine. And so this one right here, this one's the 12, this one's the 10. So I'm just gonna line up my size 10 cut line here. And I'm gonna walk it along the seam allowance line. And here is my, I think that'll go through. Yeah, there we go. There's my center front right here. So if I fold this skirt here on that red line and put this on the fold, I will have my front skirt. I am not going to draft a pattern. I'm just going to do it this way. I'm just going to make sure my fold line is straight. So I'm folding it back 3 inches for the size 12. I'm going to use some removable tape that I have to just hold it in place for when I cut. And make sure it's nice and straight and flat. And I'm just going to fold up this corner so I don't accidentally cut my little skirt edge off out of the way. And this tape just like peels right up. It's really easy. So there's my front skirt. Now let's check the back. Sorry, there's like heavy machinery being moved out there. Okay, so let's see here. I always walk it as if I'm sewing it. That is the most accurate way, and you're gonna walk it on the seam line. So I'm walking it up, like I'm kind of guessing. Yeah, I know, like I'm not, you can draw your seam line directly on there on both pieces and then line it up and walk it. You're not walking these cut edges. That is not the accurate area. You wanna walk the seam line. I'll draw a pencil line, but I don't want to draw with ink because the I don't want the paper to disintegrate over time. Ink really disintegrates the tissue paper, you know what I mean? So I'm sorry, you probably can't see this very well. I'm just putting in a 5/8 inch seam line right here, and then I line it up, and this is how I do it. I just like walk it right on that seam line as if I'm sewing it, like this. I hope you can see that, like that. Now remember, this one's on the size 12 and this one is the size 10. Strangely, it's a little bigger, but this is a little more fitted. So we can cut it on this. So here's my juncture right here. I can cut it on the size 4 line and my skirt will fit. Pretty easy, right? That's all I'm gonna do. And then I have an A-line skirt. The Dahlia usually has, what kind is that? It's just kind of a straight skirt with a little bit of a flare, but it has seams in it. to provide some shaping. It's really cute. I like it, but with this fabric, I think it would be better to have something a little flowy and drapey. You can see, awesome. All right, so I'm gonna put a little bit of removable tape on this side seam here. Okay. Okay, we're set. I'm gonna put these pattern pieces away. And I'm also going to add pockets. Why there are no pockets, I have no idea. Maybe because we weren't so like pocket crazy at the time. I don't know. Haven't we always been crazy for pockets? Surprisingly, these patterns really hold up. Like, even though you put your pattern pieces back here, it holds up pretty nice, this little thing. I never do this part, but, you know. I have this pocket that I drafted for my other Hawthorne, and I did hip pockets, which means they look like, let's see if I have a piece of paper here. So this is this pattern, I'm going to decide whether I want this or not. Has hip pockets like this. Like that. And that's where your hand goes in right there. You know? Or I can do just side seam pockets. Invisible. What do you guys think? Either of these will work. I have the pattern pieces already drafted. Yes, always pockets. I have to have a place for my phone and my glasses and my car keys all the time. I'm trying to think in this fabric, it may be nice just to do side seam pockets. Something a little less noticeable. I literally can't tell the difference between the right and the wrong side of this fabric because there's so much gosh darn pet hair in my life that there's this little fine, I mean, I think it's pet hair. I don't think it's pet hair. It's just like lint and fuzz all over my black or my navy fabric. When the gal handed me my dog yesterday, her shirt was covered in his fur. I was like, oh, sorry about that. Okay. Let's put that there. Get rid of all of this. Let's make some spice. I didn't do a test layout of this, but I did do a test yardage thing at the store. Let's hope. Because this one's cut on the cross grain. Oh, pockets. And I think I'd like my bodice to be mostly navy blue with a little of this at the bottom, you know? So the only drawback with doing an A-line skirt with this kind of print, because it's kind of going to be like a border print, is the fact that the border is going to look crooked. You see that? So the border is going to go like this straight across my dress. But when I'm wearing it, you know, it's going to look like it's kind of drooping down a little bit because the border is straight and the dress is curved. So there are drawbacks to doing some of these cool border prints. You know, best laid plans, right? You're like, yay, I have this great idea. And then you're like, oh, I didn't think that would happen. You know, kind of that kind of scenario. All right. Get my fabric as straight as possible. All right. So I want as much of this navy on my skirt as possible. I love this colorway. I think I have so much fabric for this project. Maybe I could use the navy from this for my ties on the butterfly blouse. All right. Maybe I should take a moment to tell you guys about the giveaway too, huh? All right, let's cut the skirt out though. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm making sure my selvages are lined up so that the print is pretty close to lining up to each other. They're not gonna sew to each other, but I'm going to, good morning, Kara. Thanks. Might be interesting with the dark down the center. Oh, like right here? Yeah, I think, I know, it's kind of a tough call. I thought about this a lot. Yeah, I mean, it could. You could. Let me think about it. Let me look at the print, because I think it's going to be upside down, down there. Yeah, that's true. Oh, but you know what I think I realized? Okay, so if I did it this way, it'd be like that, right? So this would be the hem of my skirt. Yeah, I mean, I could. The problem with this is that the print on the bodice, this would be upside down, because this would be the top of the bodice going into the navy to match the skirt. You know what I mean, Barbara? So that is that's the plus and minuses of this, because this is not printed so that there is two. There's a big truck out there. That was a horrible noise. Do you see that print? So they go the same way. And if I want to match, right? Let's see. If I do this, I get that up at the waist. Let's picture it. Let's go. Weights are really heavy on tissue. They work really good. So if I did the navy blue on the bodice, so that, what was that? Oh, thanks for the follow, Ludiana. So if I do the navy blue to match the skirt, right? So it sews navy, so it goes like the light teal, navy, light teal. This would be upside down on the bodice, and I think that might bug me. Yeah. So I think, oh, you're thinking vertically. Oh, well, the plants would be then sideways. Yeah. It's kind of a tricky one, huh? It's like, I feel like with this print, when we dealt with it kind of with the Callie shirt dress, and we thought about it a lot, and we talked a lot about it, especially because that colorway was so crazy, that we definitely wanted the best possible placement of it. And I wanted as much of the dark purple on my Callie shirt dress as possible, and I didn't get it because I'm now like cutting it into a shirt because I just didn't like the way that back gives me a hump back, you know? So we did talk about it a lot, and I think it's just this is one of those cases where I have to be like, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit, you know? All right, so we'll go. I'm glad we actually looked at that, so that later on I wasn't like, why didn't I do it this way? I actually think maybe I thought about trying it that way, but maybe I didn't. I definitely think about it in terms of like what would look good next to my face, like what color. All right. Let's do it. Now, anytime I have like a fabric chicken moment like we did on that butterfly blouse, I get a little nervous about just willy-nilly cutting off chunks of fabric. Yeah, right? Yeah, I think a gored skirt would be really good for this. And the Dahlia skirt is traditionally gored. I just really want the fullness with this fabric because it's really lightweight. It feels a lot like the fabric I made my Myrna dress in, and boy, I love the way that dress wears. This is the skirt front. Here's my pocket. Yeah, I do need some notches. Where's my notches on my pocket? It's fine. Let's put some notches on here. I'm just gonna do side seam pockets so it doesn't disrupt it. Let's see here. I'm gonna make my pocket opening about 5.5 inches. And this style of pocket is lines up with the waist so that your pocket always stays pushed towards the front. And I really like that kind of side seam pocket. Like a dish. So I'm just gonna notch my pocket opening on the skirt. I don't need this pattern piece while I'm sewing. This is also going to have an invisible zipper. We get to do that again. I'll put this back in the pattern envelope right away. When you cut and sew as much as I do, you really got to like manage your pattern pieces. Sometimes when we've streamed a lot, I'm like, I'll look over by my sewing area and I don't even notice, but there's like 3 pattern pieces on my little cart next to me, and they're different patterns. They're different patterns. I'm like, oh shoot, I'm slacking here. All right. So, pretty sure I can't get my back skirt on this here. We can look at it, but pretty sure we can't. I still have plenty though. Ooh, so close. Look at that, so close. If I wanted it shorter, I could have done it that way. You wouldn't even have to do it much shorter. All right, so I'll just do it from this side, like this, because that'll give me the biggest piece in the center of my fabric left over. Let's see if I'm close here. We need a little bit more. All right. Dang it. I keep getting this little, I have this little wrinkle under here I just can't get rid of. It's probably the sewing fairy telling me I haven't folded it over enough. Let's see. I believe in that stuff. Yo. And she's right. There we go. Sorry if that just blew your eyeballs out. All right. I want it to be straight because we are kind of matching the print on the side seam there. Even though it's going to be at an angle, it's still going to look great. If I could just get it to fold straight. One way to do this is I will line up this edge here and fold it right there. And now I can go like this and straighten it out. Yeah, yeah. Just takes years of working with fabric to know how to outsmart it. You know what I mean? Here we go. All right, so I'm gonna lay my front on here and make sure that is what's going to happen. This looks so not straight to me right here, the pattern piece. All right, let's see if our side seam is going to work. I think that it's kind of messy in here enough that even if you didn't get it perfectly lined up this way, it's gonna look like it lines up that way. See that? All right. I'm excited about having an A-line version of this. Why does this not look straight to me? Oh, because it's really not. Wow, okay. You have to have a 90-degree angle when you're at a juncture at the fold. You know? Otherwise, you're going to get a point or a V. It's just, you have to. At armholes, shoulders to necklines, it's just, you just have to. You always have to. All right. The way I'll be able to tell my front skirt from my back skirt is I just put a double notch right here at the back waist, right here. And our front has the pocket notches right there, remember? So that's how we'll tell. And I'm gonna stack these up on top of each other, front on top of the back, just to give myself further visualization. And I'm going to, did I do this already? Notch the center front of my skirt. All right, so it's the front on top of the back. Okay, let's do the bodice. Look at me, I'm so spooked from that fabric. Like I have this like piece and I'm like, I can't touch this. All right, let's look at this up here. This has a big chunk. A big chunk. Okay, so I was kind of toying with the idea of lining the bodice because this fabric's pretty thin. I really don't feel like when I wear this dress, it feels very secure, very, I don't want to say modest as is, and that's what I'm going for, but I wear a strapless bra with this dress. Took me years to try one out, and then I found one and I really like it. I will admit, like by the end of the day, I am ready to take it off, but it stays put. It looks really good, and it stays up. So. All right, so we have our midriff. They also call a yoke on here. And then we have our front and our back. So if I line it, what I would do probably if I lined it is leave the edges raw at the top and then bind over them like you're supposed to. So it's kind of an easy way to line things, you know? And it would look so nice on the inside. And I have plenty of fabric. So what do we think? We think like, what do we think about the bodice? Like everything that's like navy and up? Or should I do a little bit more like that? So this is how the skirt would look under it. It's pretty solid blue. So maybe a little bit more of the blue to blend it a little better. Like that. Yeah? Post-cutting stress syndrome, exactly. Post-traumatic cutting stress. It's like when you knit something and you play yarn chicken. And then you're just kind of like scarred from that for the next couple projects. All right, so I can just cut two of these at once like this. Like I said, I'm just going to treat them like almost like one layer. I'll do the darts individually, and then I will sew it to the, yeah, I can actually fully line this bodice with the way the, oh, I have the midriff. You guys. Okay. So the midriff is definitely a part of this blending in, unless I wanted to do something contrast, which I don't. So here we go. Here's my front. Okay. So we could do a lot of this here, and then we go right up into the blue like that. Right. See how that looks. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so we're gonna do the yoke right here, and then bodice right into it. I'm gonna slide this a little bit down. I really want as much of this showing as possible, so maybe I'll go all the way down to here. Put that there. This is gonna be cool, you guys. This fabric never disappoints. All right. I'm kind of toying with the idea of making this version able to wear a regular bra under it with a wide enough strap. It just means that I would probably only be able to bind the neck and the armhole, and then I would insert a strap, like a real strap. You know what I mean? No, this is it right here. The straps are created with binding the neckline and the armhole. It's kind of a continuous thing. So you can bind this part right here, and then you bind the armhole, go up into your strap, come down and do the back of the armhole, and continue into the side to the side seam here, the underarm side seam. So you have to make sure you know what that strap length is going to be. And if you do it on the bias, remember that the bias is going to be a little stretchy. So you should make it a little bit shorter than what you need, is my experience. So I was kind of going to look at all my dresses and see if all of the strap lengths are the same, and then I would probably bank on that a little bit. I would rely on that information more than you normally would, just because if I have like 3 or 4 of these, and I'm pretty sure I did use one for the other. So okay, so let's cut these guys out here. This one, I can tell I actually lengthened the bodice, probably because of my bust. I'm pretty busty. I have a narrow rib cage, but I'm pretty busty. And because this right here is the 10 line, the 12 line, and that's 14. So it looks like what I did is the length of the 14, but the circumference of the 12. I definitely shaped that right there too. Comes from when you sewn more than one of something, you can rely on that. All right, let's get rid of all this here. Oof, I almost cut out my thing there. Okay, let's set that there. I don't really need this notch on the bottom of my waist, only because I'm not using the skirt that came with it, but I am going to do the center of this, and I'm going to do this top notch on the midriff here because it goes to the bodice, probably where the dart goes. Maybe not. Is there a dart? Oh, it's not dart, it's gathers for the bust. All right, so here we have our front. Alrighty, let's do the start here. Then we have our gathers here. I'm gonna follow the notches that I have on here already from last time. There are little circles here, and that would be your gather between these circles direction. This might be the zipper. I don't need a notch there because we don't need to match the center. Oh, here's the zipper right here. This says zipper. Haha. This is just probably a matching notch. I don't really need that. All right, we'll just pin one of these on here. So no darts. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I could clean finish the inside. That'll be nice. Very nice. We like that. Then we're only going to be doing French seams on the skirt side seams, and that's it, with the pockets even. All right. This is like the perfect amount of fabric, especially for the amount of fussy cutting we need to do for a print. It's not bad. Not bad at all. All right, so let's see. We're gonna put our back on the fold as well. So let's give ourselves a little bit more here. I'll look it up for you, Kira. I found it completely by accident. This is probably too much information for all of you, but I prefer minimizer bras. I like to look smaller than I am. And that one was suggested to me by the company. I found this company totally by accident, and it's just like we've all had that struggle where we're like, oh, I really love my bra, and then you go to order one just like it again and you can't find it, and then you're on some website you've never heard of, and you're like, but that's my bra, so do I trust this? And I've actually had I've had a good experience there. And it just, it's just kind of a bummer. Like, I used to shop locally, then they discontinued it, then then another big store carried it, and then I can only find it online. So kind of a bummer. I'm just gonna kind of gaze at my fabric. Oh, look at that. This is gonna be so good, you guys. Look at that. I just want to hold it up to myself. Just indulge me. Just indulge me. For 1 second. Yeah, right? So good. Yeah. I'm excited. Okay. So what you can do if you're going to be doing some pattern matching, because the top is not in the same place as this, you don't want to match your shoulders. Look at your armhole side seam juncture. I will say this little part right here of this pattern it's okay, it works, but do you see what I mean? That it's not like a classic armhole that scoops in. And I'm actually I've already altered it a little bit before. I'm gonna scoop it a little bit more. It works, but it could be a little less flat there. So I'm just gonna scoop. I'm pretty cavalier about this, I know. Nancy! Hey, rookie. What do you mean? No, you're fine. You can backtrack. Did you actually rewind, Kira? How'd you do that while I'm live? Can you do that, guys? Like, I know on Twitch, it's kind of helpful. You can clip something of mine, and it'll clip, I think, something like 30 or 45 seconds. And so say you're like, I want to see her do that again and again and again. I want to watch it over and over again. You can say clip it on Twitch somewhere, and it looks like a little like movie thingy. And then it'll just save it to the Twitch stream. I'll see that you clipped it, just so you know, but I don't care. I never look at that stuff. And then you can kind of watch something over and over again. People do it in gaming streams because something crazy will happen, or the streamer will go nuts or whatever, and they really like being able to watch it over and over again. And here I am back getting my piece because I totally forgot this is what I got it out for. All right. Okay, so here we go. It's about there. See, I'm matching this little branch. I'm just gonna pull it straight over like this. Lay this about right there. There we go. And I knew that was gonna happen. The air conditioning turned on. And now I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna pull it straight over, lay this side seam of my back on here. A little more parallel to the grain line. Hold it like that. Okay, set that there. The air conditioning is very powerful. Ah, okay. Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay. So let's just put a pin like this so we know where the armhole shape is. And we'll go, because I'm going to fold it now. Like that. I'm more concerned about lining up all my selvages up here than I am that raw edge is sticking out. This is closer to being on grain when you're lining up your selvages. You can see what I'm thinking about, huh? All right, so now I can line up my little juncture there. I'm not very scientific, I'm just logical. Nice, Nancy. How are you? Okay, I feel like I've gotten less instructional with you guys because I feel like you're like, yeah, you've told us this 5,000 times. But, you know. I was thinking today, like, I never really talk about like what's going on in my mind when I cut something out, what I'm looking for, and why I can do it so confidently. And it's, you know, it's like I rule things out so quickly. So remember, I did the length of the 14 for my bust, and I have to carry that length to the back so that they match on the side seams. I have to get rid of this pin before I ruin my blade. Right. We still need to do the midriff too. I've definitely trimmed, yeah, this is the one I trimmed, okay. Let's keep this all, I'm holding this against the table so that it doesn't fall off so I can keep it all lined up for the midriff. Because I didn't pin it first like I did on my other one, which would have been smart. Yeah, right, exactly. Hi, Veronica, how's it going? Just double tap for some seconds. Oh, right. Yeah, if you do double tap on the right and left hand, you can usually go forward or back 20 seconds in YouTube, and you can actually set that amount up, just so you know. All right, here's my zipper notch. I'm gonna go by these notches here for this dart. It's really nice that there's some dart shaping back here. And then put my, I'm gonna have to mark the dart on both the lining and the outer. So this is only gonna mark one of them so far. But we can do the other one when we get to the sewing machine, right before. Nice! Oh, the Datura top? That's cool, Nancy. That clover dress really has my eye, and I have to say, like, I thought I skipped last month for this month, and I was gonna get that clover dress, and then I ended up getting last month, so I got it by accident. I'm gonna give it away. Yeah, that will be fun. That Datura blouse is really cute. Alright, I don't really need this pattern piece, so I'm just going to tuck it in the envelope. I don't really need the front either, but I kept it for a reason, so I'll just leave it there. I know where it's at if I need it. Right? Okay, so here's my back. Left this all lined up here, and we'll put our yoke on here. You do cut to of the yoke normally. This I didn't change. I only added a lining to the bodice. I used to wear this dress, no joke, with no bra because the midriff comes up right here. It's pretty supportive, I will admit, hoping that maybe by lining it, I could get away with that. I don't know if I would do that again, but you know, it'll be a really nice dress, fully lined, even if I don't. All right, I don't need this bottom notch because remember we changed our skirt. That just goes to the top. I'm just gonna notch my back right there, so I know it's the back. All right, so here's my back. And here's my front. So I'm gonna lay the front on top of the back. That's how I like to do it in my bin, so that I always know, doesn't matter how you do it, it's just as long as you make sense to you, right? So that when you're doing it, you're like, what did I do? Where do I shop? This one is from my local fabric store, and they still have some. Honey Run Quilters in Chico, California. You can just call them up. I'm not sure they have really like stuff on the website, but they've told me, please link us. You know, you can link us. People are welcome to call us and shop over the phone. They have this print in a black and white, so the navy blue is black and this part's white. It's really cool. I've been so tempted by it. They have it in, they still have it in the pink, I'm pretty sure, and they have it in this, and I feel like there's a fourth color. I might be wrong there. Not sure. You're going to pass on the jumpsuits, Nancy? No culottes for Nancy. No jumpsuits for Nancy. She's not about that monkey business. I also shop at Hearts Fabric. I've shopped at Stone Mountain and Daughter before. And Blackbird Fabrics. But mostly I try and stick to California places. It's just my thing. I try and stick to California shops. If you're on the East Coast, Finch Sewing and Knitting Studio has a really great selection of fabrics. Good stuff, really good stuff. And you're on the East Coast. Oh yeah, you can make a shrug. Yeah. You're not a jumpsuit fan either, Lisa. My thing is the bathroom. I don't like getting fully undressed in the bathroom. You know? At least with overalls, you're still wearing your shirt. Okay, I just need my pockets. And I think because up at the top, this is at the top, it's this fabric here, I'm going to match that. I don't want the navy blue to show through that or darken it right there where my pockets are. So I'm going to try and stick to this fabric only. You know? I need bindings still too. It is a cutting it close type of day for fabric today. This would be so nice for the binding. I may leave that. I need the navy blue though for the binding because the binding shows. So great. Okay, good. I could do the pockets on the cross grain. It's all pre-washed. It's totally fine. I may try not to, you know, these weird pieces sometimes, you just got to cut things out individually sometimes. Don't, I just want to do that. But that's off grain, boys and girls. Yeah, Kira, me too. Kira, recently one of my streamers gifted me a gift card there. It was pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, Nancy, I've ordered from them before. They probably don't know that so is me. But I used to order from them as Chicken Boots. And they said they knew me, which was really funny. Maybe because they have a knitting supplies. So they knew me as Chicken Boots. Right, yeah, I know, Nancy. And it's so hard to pick out fabrics online. You just got to kind of get the hang of it, you know? It's not easy for any of us. And, you know, like maybe like what I think of is when I visit the fabric store, I kind of take note. Like even if it's not a fabric I like, sometimes it's good to look at a few fabrics that really stand out and are easy to recognize, so that and easy to describe, and then go to their website, find that fabric, and look what it looks like on the website. That way you kind of know how it looked in real life and how it looked on the website, and do that with a few fabrics, and you kind of start getting the hang of how it's going to look different. You know what I mean? And then you just have to trust. And most of the time, it's just going to be different than you remember when you get it. But at the same time, you'll forget what you remember, and it'll be awesome. You'll get used to it. Okay, so I want to get all of my pockets. Oh, right. I have this big chunk right here, too. Let's see. Look at this crazy piece I just set aside. Oh, look at that. That'll work. Let me give this a little haircut here. We'll set the navy blue aside. That's the cut edge, so I know that this is the length grain. Here we go. Where was that other one on the angle? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Get a couple of my pockets out here. Really, Nancy? That's awesome. I did too, though. Yeah, and you'd be wondering, like, why is this piece stretchy but all the others aren't? Because you put it on the bias or something. All right. I can't, there's no way I can get 4 pockets out of this. Let's see if I have. I'm making sure I'm not cutting 2 lefts and 2 rights. Because I could be. I really could be. Let's see here. It's really hard for me. This is the wrong side of the fabric, and that's the wrong. Okay, no, these are actually, this is actually right sides together. Perfect. Yeah, you know, I just like I say, I'm not scientific. I'm just kind of logical. Sometimes when I don't know what to do, I try and think, like, if someone brought this problem to me, what would I tell them to do? And then, you know, you kind of get more creative when you involve someone else, right? Because you don't want to let someone down. I don't know. Maybe that's just me that does that. Like, I'm like, okay, if someone asked me this, what would I tell them to do? And when I don't have an answer, then I think about it for a few days. Yeah, right, Nancy? You know, you can order fabric on their website, Nancy. Did you know that? On Needlesharp? And she puts it on sale. I've ordered a lot of fabric from her. She gets some really good fabrics. It's a good tip, you guys. So Needlesharp is the subscription box that a few of us get, and you get everything in it. I'll show you mine in just a second, the one I'm going to give away. And she has extra fabric at the end of those, and she sells them for a deal. Why is my screen really pink to you guys? Why is it so pink? Why is it so pink? What the heck happened? Let's see if we can get that. That better? It's like been like creeping to this orange, huh? No, you don't have to subscribe at all, Elaine. You can just check out the Needlesharp. It might be like, her website might be so Needlesharp. And I think if you just Google needlesharp.com. Right? I know that it just slowly started turning pink. That's so weird. I have a box light above me, but because I have this arch to hold my cameras, it always creates this shadow that you see right here. I'm low budget, you guys. All right, let me cut these out so we can move on. All right, so I think I'm gonna do this kind of thing here. I'm kind of forced. Kind of forced at this point. Yeah, you don't need to be a subscriber to buy her fabric. She would love for you to buy her fabric. Yeah, and you can buy single kits. It's true. Yeah, you can just buy a single kit. And if you, Nancy, did you know that if you don't like any of your the kits she has that month, she has backup kits. And they just have like a plain description and it changes all the time. So you can, if you're like, I still want to get something this month, you can look at her backup kits she has. All right. It feels like, just so you guys know, it feels really wrong to me to cut out pattern pieces in the middle of weird shaped pieces of fabric. Just, if it's bugging you, it's bugging me too. I have a feeling like Kira would be bugged by this. It bugs me too. I just have to get it over with because I'm like, ooh, this looks so weird. I don't like these weird pieces. That's why I'm always trimming my scraps and making them look usable. Because it really bugs me. Why do places sell by the half or 1 yard increments? Probably because the fabric's expensive or because maybe someone only needs 2.5 yards. Sometimes they don't. And that's kind of a bummer. If you only need 2.25 yards and you're forced to buy 3, that is a bummer, I admit. Because, you know, like, I buy a lot of fabric. I spend a lot of money on fabric, and I don't want a lot of scraps, you know? Yeah. All right, so let's do some bias binding here. Let's see here. I don't really need such long pieces. Let me see. This is, I'm saving this. Yeah, okay. Let it go. All right. Yeah, exactly, Brooke. But, you know, the flip side of that, I'm sure people struggle of why and how is, you know, like, what if you are like, oh, I thought I ordered 2 yards and you only ordered 2.5 yards? A lot of sites are really clear about it, but, you know, you might miss it. Like, what if you're ordering on your phone, you know, and your 4-year-old's, you know, like, asking you for something at the same time, and you're like, wait a minute, what did I just order? All right, I'm just going to start with this piece right here. So I'm just cutting up some bias. The heck? There's a little cut in this. See that right there? So I'm just gonna start over. It's not much, I agree. But we will get enough. I'm gonna try and get mostly navy blue. Let's cut off the selvage. Otherwise, we're just cutting it off later, right? Yeah. The grain line can be vital in most often than not. But in some places like pockets, you know. But like collars and things like that, the grain line's pretty important with collars. It can make a difference on how it lays. Yeah, right, Olivia? Exactly. I mean, just like Brooke says, it gives that perception that it's cheaper. And fabrics have gotten a lot more expensive. Like, a lot of fabric companies weren't raising their prices. As someone who bought a lot of fabric wholesale, I remember this. And I think it's because, you know, things, it's like all wrapped up in like trade and international stuff like that. You know, the price of cotton. And sometimes I think what they do is they hope the price is going to come down, so they don't want to like knee-jerk reaction raise all the prices, and then after a couple of years they're like, all right, we're losing money now, we have to raise the prices. So oops, get rid of the selvage there. So in the last few years, prices have jumped because of that. Because everyone kind of was like, oh, they're raising their prices. Now I can raise my prices, you know? Yeah, exactly, Brooke. Yeah. All right, I don't know if this is enough. It's some wee scraps I got going there. We're definitely piecing. We're piecing. Not bad, though. They're really short sections of binding, except across the shoulder. So we'll see where it's at before I commit to any of these. I can always use a totally different binding, which is what I've done in the past. I could even use the teal. That might be kind of cool. I kind of want to add a strap, you know, this time. Maybe I'll save my banner here, just in case. But I really don't have much. I really don't have much here. I did good on this fabric buy. I'm proud. Okay, so we'll keep these scraps here. The just in case pile. We got our binding now. We got our 2 projects ready to go. All right. So I'll show you my Needlesharp box. So here's the deal. Okay, so I'm learning how to do giveaways. I'm sorry, they were 1 3/8 inch wide, Nancy. I didn't know that there'd be a learning curve on how to do a giveaway. I even like I almost asked a couple of friends, and then I realized maybe I should Google this because it's a YouTube thing. There is some weird stuff. I had to put like rules in the description and stuff like that. It's basics, not a big deal. But it looks like I can only open up giveaways to people in the United States if I want to maintain the legality of it. If this were something I was doing on Instagram, I think it would be a lot easier. But this is YouTube, and I am a live streamer, and that's what I want to focus on, and I don't want to make all of you go over to Instagram to enter a contest. So here's my thing. I'm going to ask you to comment on this video, and I want you to tell me today, what your favorite sewing related tool is. Mine is obviously the seam ripper or the awl. You can copy me. At the end of the week, you don't have to comment on every video, you know. It's just one entry, you know, you just need to do it once. But and if you don't like today's prompt, you can look at tomorrow's prompt. But just comment, like the video, make sure you're following the stream. You need to be following, liking it, and then commenting on it with that prompt. And then this is the Needlesharp. So you get this box in the mail. It's very cool. It says "Be so delighted." You know, and there's your address label. You open it up. It's filled with goodies. She has a little thank you card. These are cards on the fabrics. She gives you care instructions, all of the information on those fabrics. Pattern, which is the Farrow dress by Grainline Studio. Look at the hashtag, it's awesome. She always has a sewing tip, and it's really nicely put together. Look at this, full color photographs on how to, look at this, French seams on inseam pockets. Who, you guys, like, we've needed this. So this is really great. And then there is everything you need. So there's notions. I won't open this. There's thread, a needle, a hook, and eye. So that must be needed. I'll keep that together. There's interfacing. This must be either bias, for the bias. I don't know what this is. I've never sewn this. Let me see. Maybe it's for pockets. I don't know. It's cute. And then there is enough. There's a ton of fabric in here. There's enough fabric to make a Farrow dress in a two-tone. Or you could use the fabric for something else. Or you can mix and match the fabrics a different way. So it's up to you. This was valued, I'm pretty sure, at $120. All and a glass of wine. I know, me too, Malin. I know, me too. I'm going to look into it, Malin, because I really want to open this up to everybody. So feel free to comment, Malin. Still, feel free to comment. You never know. I will mail this to you intact, just like this. Let's see. I'm not sure actually how many yards are in here. Let's see what it says, just so you know. It doesn't say. It doesn't say how many yards, but I'll tell you what it takes. And she usually provides enough fabric to make the view that takes the most fabric. So you need to comment in the description of the video, not in the chat. So I mean, I like knowing this, you guys, right now, what your favorite tool is. But comment in the description of the video. You just need that pocket card, Lisa. Yeah, you get everything you need. You can literally sit down. The only thing is your fabric's not pre-washed. I did not wash this. So there is this pattern is the Farrow dress by Grainline Studio. Excellent company. It comes sleeveless or sleeved. It has a seam here. This dress looks like it would be really shapeless, but when I see this on people, it looks really nice. It's got really great drape. It fits through the shoulders, which we all know is really key for something to be the most flattering, right? It would be great for fall with the long sleeves. It's got, oh, I thought it was a zippered back, but it's not. So I'm not actually sure how it closes. I've never even opened this. Let me see here. Light to medium weight woven fabric ranging. Looks for me to match plus. Huh? I don't know. Okay, so it goes up to a 44-inch bust, 47-inch hip, down to a size 32-inch bust and a 35-inch hip. So that is your size range. And I imagine that there is at least 4 yards of fabric in here, probably more, because I can measure it. Would you like to measure it? Chicago Bear colors? I don't know. Okay, make sure you're commenting in the description of the video, not the chat. But I still love seeing what you guys are, what your favorite things are. Yeah, so let me, I'll measure this really quick. I can kind of do an eyeball. It's really drapey. Gorgeous blue color. Where's the selvages? Here's the selvages right here. I'm trying to keep it nice and folded so that I don't like upset how it fits in the box. Oh my gosh, there's so much fabric here. It's wide too. It's like 55 inches wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 layers. 7 layers. Good gosh. Wow, there's a lot of fabric here. Yeah, okay. So this is 33 inches wide, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 layers. That's almost 4 yards just in the blue, which is enough to make the whole dress in blue. The coral is provided as a contrast option, and there is a ton of it as well. I always have plenty of fabric. There's only one time that I cut it close. In the coral, there is same thing. Same thing, you guys. So there's 4 lengths at 33 inches, so it's almost 4 yards. So it's like you're getting about, oh, no. Stay together, stay together. I want you all to fit in the box. It's like you're getting about 3 3/4 yards of each fabric. This coral is bright. It's nice though. Super drapey. It's kind of a twill weave. This is never going back in the box. Look at that. I already screwed this up. Shoot. Okay. How did she do this? How'd she do this magic? Here we go. Okay, I can see the fold lines now. All right, here we go. I usually pride myself on getting patterns back into their pattern envelopes. That's a siren. All right. At least I'm not by the fire station anymore, huh, guys? Okay, so here we go. This looks really orange on the screen. It's lighter than that for me. I don't know how it looks on your screen, but it's a very definite coral color. A very definite royal blue. Yeah, the small view right here. Yeah, I know. Sometimes I change the view. Get in there, get in there. This is so cute. This little print right here. All right. For $120, Lisa, you can have the quick inseam pocket guide. Okay, I got it. Because the box is so, I actually saved these boxes. It's really cute. Be so delighted. And it has the stitching around the side. All right. And then we'll have other giveaways for the other weeks. Hearts is sending you guys some fabric. And then I have a little pile of little goodies over there. So I'm figuring it out. Yeah, right. I know. I can never get the pattern back in the envelope. Lately, I feel like there's some voodoo with pattern folding because I'm having trouble too. Right? Yeah. Right, Eliza? I know. It's like when I would go to knit nights and someone would serve wine. I'm like, well, okay, well, there goes my knitting. You know, 3 sips and I'm just going to add this to the screen so it's not this big old white thing. 3 sips and conversation. That means 2 stitches maybe. So. All right, well, it was a pleasure having you guys. We cut 2 things. Our first time playing Fabric Chicken and we didn't win, but Hearts is here for the rescue. So that's awesome. They'll send us some fabric and we can finish cutting that up and also that. So tomorrow I'll start. What do you guys think? Because I could do the butterfly blouse without the binding. And yeah, I'm not gonna interrupt it that way. We're gonna do the Dahlia tomorrow, so I'll switch the thing around. I'll do the Dahlia dress tomorrow. I do have a zipper already, and then we'll do the butterfly blouse when we're done with that. Exactly, Nancy. I'm such a lightweight these days. So, cool. Well, thank you for helping me. Hello, Polly. We're just about to sign off. I'm really sorry, Polly. I'm in California too. I'm in Chico. Is it as hot as Hades where you are as well? So we're going to be here every day through Saturday, 11 a.m. Pacific, and we'll be sewing for the rest of the week. I'm trying to make it so that Saturday is, I'm pretty sure, because I have a really ambitious stream schedule this month because it is my 1-year birthday for So Live. Thanks, Blouse. And I love that you're all saying goodbye. You're like, we gotta say her goodbye now because there's a delay and she's gonna miss it. I always see it and I always try and comment before the stream goes down on YouTube. So yeah, so I saw that hashtag refashion in August. I have a few things that I'd like to refashion with you guys. So we'll do a chill stream on Saturday and do some of that. I'll try and find a few other things. But we'll do the Dahlia dress by Colette patterns with my A-line modifications on the skirt starting tomorrow. Finish it up on Thursday, I'm sorry, and then Friday I will sew the butterfly blouse. Yeah, I can probably do that, Eliza. You're probably right, I can do that. Awesome. I'm really glad. Thanks, Mom to Minnie. So, I didn't really talk about the Patreon today, Nancy, but I did on Saturday. I don't really want to push it, but yeah, I am on Patreon now, and there are these different little subscriber tiers, $5, $10, and $20 a month, and I'm sorting it out. I'm learning how to do it. I'm trying to figure it out, and all support is always welcome. Oh, you're in Newport? I used to live in Costa Mesa for a long time. Loved it there, and I worked in Newport Beach at Firehouse Upholstery. I don't know how long you've been there, Polly, but I worked at Firehouse Upholstery on the peninsula. I know that area really well. So if you go to Patreon, it's So Live, and this schedule is there. It's my ambitious month of live streams for my birthday month. We just had our 100th episode, which was really awesome. And I'm really excited. Next week, we're going to do the Mellow by Deer and Doe, and that's also sponsored by Hearts Fabric. And then I'm also going to do the Tanya Culottes by Megan Nielsen Patterns. I'm probably taking Wednesday off because it's the first day of school, but I might get out of that. I want to see the new school, though. She's at a new school now. It's not a new school to her, new campus, like a new site. And then the week of my 1-year anniversary, we're doing knits. Hopefully my serger's back. And we're going to do 2 Monettas and 2 Linden sweatshirts. Monettas are really great. It's great. The Colette Patterns Monetta is such a great first knits pattern, and you get a whole outfit out of it. And the Linden sweatshirt will be great for fall. And then the last week, we're going to do the Ash Jeans by Megan Nielsen Patterns, which I've never made before. So, cool. Awesome, Nancy. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, well, you don't have to look at the stream. You can just, if you want that schedule, Nancy, you can just look at the Patreon site, So Live. Awesome. I know. Well, to tell you the truth, you guys have been so generous with donations. It's why I did the Patreon, because I didn't want you guys to keep doing these big donations all the time. I was like, oh, they don't need to keep doing this. You know, it's not up to just, 15 of you. You know, like you guys have been awesome. You guys are really awesome. Thanks. I appreciate it. I love doing this with you guys. I hope this works for you guys too. So yeah. Welcome to my month of crazy live streams. It'll be really fun though. I'm excited. This is what I want to do, right? So I'll see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific. We will be sewing the Dahlia dress, and I'm looking forward to it. So thanks, Brooke. Brooke gave me that donation the other day for a new dress form, she told me. I am down for that. We need a dress form, you guys, a good one. One that's a little curvier, you know? Thank you. Yeah, you guys, great. All right, I will see you guys soon, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So have a great day. Thanks, Nancy. I appreciate that. All right, have a good day, guys. Bye.